swept UCLA, went to Tempe, Arizona, and we swept UCLA. She just want to lose. ASU just wants to sweep.
I got so
we
excited.
just swept UCLA, moved to Tempe, Arizona. They just want to lose. They just want to lose. We just swept UCLA.
Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even a 5-star review if you like the podcast or if you like
We're
Shane's
heading back
singing.
to LA. We just swept UCLA. All we want to do is party.
Right before the show, Shane's like, ooh, can I start the show with something? And I got so excited. And it was just
ASU just bodied.
that.
Yeah,
Sad
that's how we get it started.
UCLA.
It's fantastic.
They got to go back to
We were
LA.
supposed to have Doug, and instead we get this.
Yes. So, for anybody here, anybody listening, expecting to have the Athletics Doug Haller on the show, unfortunately, there were some things that he had to take care of this morning, last second. Sometimes life happens, which is fine. He will be on the show Friday,
which is our
at 1
Friday
p.m.
fun day. So
Yes.
I'm sorry, Doug Holler.
Yeah, Doug is.
He's gonna have to be a part of it. It's gonna work out perfectly. It's gonna work out perfectly.
Doug and Hot or Not might be the most electric thing we've done to date.
It's gonna definitely get out of hand. But that is for Friday.
Holler or not.
Holler or
No, Holler not.
We
Holler
need a graphic change
Yeah.
immediately for Friday. But before we get to that, down the line, we've got a lot to talk about today, throughout the week, before we get to Doug joining us on Friday. And I want to start with some interesting things that popped up on social media. First of all, is ASU's chances of winning the Pac-12 in football this year. Right now, the fourth best chances, according to a couple different outlets.
Not the Pac-12 South, the Pac-12.
No, the Pac-12, fourth
Fucking
best
A?
to win the conference, according to a couple different places. USC at number 1, Oregon 2, Utah 3, and Arizona State at number 4 with the same odds as UCLA.
So remember when I said the other day that the Pac-12 is wide open? That's kind of what I meant. Because it's just showing. I mean, like you think about it, who are you putting above ASU? Like, yeah, Washington's solid. Like, Washington State always has an offense, but I mean, no, like Arizona is the bottom still. Oregon State, you don't care about. Utah, Oregon, and USC are the 3 teams that we talked about. Like, Oregon's going to be Oregon. USC is now stepping into the Lincoln Riley
Easily
era.
the favorite.
Yeah. And then Utah is Cameron Rising U. So,
The most important thing is that Arizona is firmly in the bottom, as expected.
Yeah, I think the really tricky thing with trying to figure out how the Pac-12 is going to play out is just there's so much turnover when it comes to ASU. Like, a lot of these guys we haven't seen in a Sun Devil uniform, whether that be because they've transferred into the program or because they've been sitting behind guys who have transferred out of the program.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you think was the biggest offseason move for ASU in terms of affecting their odds?
I wonder if it was the guy that was on the thumbnail.
Do you think it was more the departure of Jaden Daniels or the?
it's both. It's both combined, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, to show that you're in fourth, I think with Jaden Daniels, you're still in fourth. I think they see at the quarterback position. I don't think really much has changed in terms of talent wise. Sorry, it just in both. So I think Emory's probably has a higher potential after what we saw last year. I mean, I loved Jaden and I loved the potential that he had a great deep ball, but he started sputtering. And I don't know if it was to do with the system. I don't know if it was to do with his time here and how unhappy he was.
Yeah.
But now you're getting a fresh start, a fresh quarterback, an electric quarterback, a big quarterback, and you're wiping everything clean. It's all exciting now.
Yeah, I feel like if you had like a tracker of what their what their chances of winning were, it probably when it was Jaden, it was probably like right up here.
It would have looked like a heartbeat.
And then it dropped down once it was a Bourget Tyson competition, and now that Jones is here, it's back up to right where it probably would have been with Jaden.
So where do you think they're at if Jones doesn't transfer in, and we're where we were early last week, and you're still looking at a Bourget Tyson quarterback competition?
I think they're probably below UCLA. Like, I don't know if it's drastic. They're probably in that Washington State range, maybe below them.
I think they're below Washington, above Wazoo.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Around there. Well, yeah, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they had gotten put below Washington State. I think it's right in that range.
I just think with the question at quarterback still, because you don't know how Murray's going to adjust to this offense and how this offense is going to adjust to him. I think question at quarterback is a good thing for ASU fans because it's uncertainty rather than having certainty and knowing that you're probably not going to have a great quarterback. Now you know it could either be a train wreck or it could be awesome. And that's really fun. I'm here for it. I just want to feel something, Sun Devil fans. I just want to feel something.
Like riding on Amtrak. Could be a train wreck. Could be a lot of fun.
Dear God.
Is Amtrak a lot of fun when it's at its peak, though?
I love Amtrak. Riding on
I'm
trains
a big
is
fan
so
of like
fun.
the double-decker ones.
Oh, I just used to take trains a lot through like the New York
Ooh, look,
countryside.
I'm from New York.
Maybe
Not like that kind of New York.
Let me
Just
go
like
to the
New York?
bodega.
No.
Can I get it the Aki way?
Okay, I'm from basically Ohio. I was going to drive. I was taking the train through country, through snow.
You see goats?
No, I did see horses sometimes.
Mm.
Shout out. I was
Shout
going
out
to say that.
Ooh, Mother's Day. There was a farmer's market happening outside of where we went to get brunch, and there was just a baby goat stall. Well, there was like honey and like normal things you'd see at a farmer's market, and then you could just tip them to pet a baby goat.
Baby goats are electric.
And the
Eat
guy,
your heart out, Michaela Perkins.
the guy looks at me and goes, "She likes being picked up. If you want to hold her," I'm like, "I'm good."
You don't want to hold the baby goat.
I just feel like she doesn't actually like
happening?
being picked up.
Sometimes I swear to God, I'm hammered, and you
Okay.
two are my last two brain cells, just going back and forth.
Well, hold on. Do you think he
Emery
was,
Jones,
do you
baby
think-
goat.
Do you think he was lying to me?
That's
That she liked being held? How do you know that?
Baby goats
Baby
are
goat-
very
I mean, you
expressive
could-
personalities.
I feel like a baby
Are
goat's
they?
like any other
Yeah.
animal. It'll tell you if it's not.
Yeah, they've got expressive personalities.
I think goats are more like stoic animals. I think
No,
they're just like.
Have you
goats-
seen baby goats?
Yeah, they yell,
They
but like,
hop
what
all
are they
over the
actually
place.
saying?
Nobody knows what they're
I
saying.
think bah means I'm content at where I
The
am
next
right
shit
now.
show should be at Goat
Goat farm?
Yoga. Goat Yoga.
Goat
Brother, I feel like that would trigger my allergies. I don't
Okay,
even
okay.
know.
I just think the people don't deserve to see me doing yoga.
Totri wants to get back to football.
I
so
do want to
bad.
get back to football. I
Yeah.
really fuck baby goats.
Whoa!
That's where I'm
brother!
at. That's,
Oh
that's
my
where I'm
God.
at.
No,
That's where I'm
we
at.
could have gone back
Oh
to
my
football,
God.
and then you
No.
spat
No.
out the name of
My
baby
No.
goats.
No, I know Mac is with me on this.
Again, people came here for Doug Holler, and now they're getting baby goat
baby
talk.
goats.
Oh,
we
I
don't-
can't
we don't-
believe you. Take it
My
back.
No, I don't
God.
want to.
Take it back,
I don't want
Totri.
to. All farm animals.
Oh,
Brother, pigs, horses,
Yeah.
a baby. Have you seen a baby cow before?
a calf.
Adorable.
The calf.
You guys good now?
Only no, it's fuck chickens. Otherwise,
Yeah. I'm team #fuck chickens. Except
Oh,
This
The
is
eggs-
an
Low Tone
anti-chicken
Capone is
podcast.
here. He says we're in here. You're
Yeah.
right. We are 100% in
we
here.
are.
I don't know where
we
here is.
we
We
at
are
this
outside.
mentally
point.
outside of a barn.
I don't.
we outside.
Part of getting back to ASU football, part of the reason their odds may be where they're at is something we didn't get the chance to talk about because it happened at the end of the week. Was they got a new receiver?
Yeah.
That's been the big complaint for Sun Devil fans after quarterback was now we don't have anybody to catch the ball outside of Elijah Badger. They do now. Got a transfer in Cam Johnson, the second Cam Johnson, now in Arizona. Actually, there are probably more than just two Cam Johnsons in the state of Arizona.
Toadry
but-
taking his anger out for living in Indiana out on baby,
Baby
goats. I will
goats.
not stand for the baby goat slander. Thank you, Austin.
Listen,
Yeah,
guys.
no, I'm not here for baby goat slander either.
Well, we're done
But-
slandering baby goats, and we're talking about Cam Johnson.
Well, we're now
We
we're
never
now we're,
were.
we're talking. Yeah, I was never slandering baby goats. Maybe another. I just like calling young athletes baby goats because they're gonna be. Well,
I've
anyway.
literally never heard you say that. Except
literally-
as of 10 minutes ago.
Okay, I was gonna say.
So Emery Jones is a baby goat. is what
Yeah,
you're
and maybe Cam Johnson
Even
is
though
also
he's a
baby
senior,
goat.
he's a
saying. We have
baby
two
goat.
baby goats now.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
he's still in college.
Well, for people
Potential's
who don't know about Cam Johnson still got 2 years left of eligibility, transferring from Vanderbilt. Last season, 34 catches, 327 yards, 4 touchdowns, 9.6 yards a catch. Now, his last 3 seasons at Vanderbilt, nothing too crazy, but very consistent
Mhm.
where he's at, which is something I think ASU desperately needs on the perimeter. We obviously have seen the departure of Ricky Pearsall, but a bunch of guys that just have question marks. I think this is going to be huge for ASU stability in terms of wide receivers.
And LV, obviously. LV was at Oklahoma, I think, over the weekend. So good on him. Hopefully he finds a good home. And because he's a talented guy, I think can really make some noise getting into his later years in college. But yeah, without those two guys, I mean, you really have question marks. Andre Johnson was like consistently listed as wide receiver 2 last year, even though he didn't really catch many balls or play as many snaps as you'd expect a wide receiver 2 to do. And then, you have your X factors like Elijah Badger and Chad Johnson Jr. Like, Chad Johnson Jr., by the way, huge supporter of Sun Devil softball. We love to see it. He's always tweeting about Farrington time. But yeah, you have a lot of question marks, and this definitely is a exclamation point.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to the thing I brought up with Paul Tyson, the thing I bring up with Emory Jones. It's a guy that's seen SEC competition.
And had a couple good games against SEC competition. His
like,
junior year, he had 110 yards or 114 yards on 10 catches against Mississippi State. Like, 14 catches, 97 yards against Ole Miss. Like,
as a sophomore, after he only played 4 games his freshman year, so as a sophomore, his first full year of action, he had 54 yards against LSU, which is defensive back U. Like, that's like.
And then his junior year, to your point the other day, 40-yard reception against number 20 LSU when they were prime with their Stingleys and all their secondaries. So.
And just a reminder, like, yes, they're in the SEC, but he's at Vanderbilt doing these things. It's not like, with all due respect, Vanderbilt is one of the worst teams, if not the worst, in the SEC.
Yeah.
So, like, for him to be able to do this and consistently be able to do it is what I think is super, super notable for ASU fans. And it's the same thing that I brought up with Emory Jones. Like, yes, he's playing against SEC competition and doing these things, but, like, they've had to face the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Georgias. Now they get to come to the Pac-12 where clearly we see the chances of teams winning. Like, the competition outside of USC, like, it really is an open conference. So I think these are guys like Emory Jones, Cam Johnson. They're like, okay, we can do something here now.
And he has return experience.
Yeah.
And I know that's something that you've expressed, Shane. You've expressed slight, like, the slight trouble or concern with ASU's returning.
Game. DJ Taylor only.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't like when you puke up a possession by dropping a punt.
When you puke a possession?
Puke up a possession. When you just throw the ball up.
Yeah. But so
barf it out.
I mean, this was
Projectile.
guys that were listed as or this is a guy that was listed as like he was all preseason all SEC and like 4th team, but receiver and return, which is like, it's 4th team, but also especially as a returner where I'm
in the SEC.
It's like in the SEC, and the returner is probably only 1 on each team. Like that's like, you're getting decent talent. He was a 4-star recruit.
Yeah.
And again, like we had said the other day about Emory Jones, you don't just stumble your way into a 4-star ranking. Like,
I'm a lot more comfortable. Like, I know it's only 1 edition, but I'm a lot more comfortable with ASU's wideouts with Cam Johnson coming to Tempe.
It's so weird calling him Cam Johnson.
It's
so weird.
He also completed a pass for 25 yards last year. So
Dual threat.
If Emory Jones doesn't work out, we have our backup.
We're going straight to Cam Johnson, just saying screw the other guys.
No, that's what I love about like high school football is when you have one guy that's just clearly better at everything than everyone else, and it's like, oh, our quarterback's hurt, our starting wide receivers, now our quarterback, we're just gonna run read option all day. Like, I high school football is electric, but it's like you said, it is nice to just have somebody that is like someone that we know is going to get touches, is going to get snaps at wide receiver. Like we have now another guy who is actually experienced, actually talented.
Yeah. Our guy Jacob asking, what do you think ASU does next transfer-wise? I think they're done personally in terms of, like, they've got their stars now. They've got their key pieces. Stars. This is what they're going to do for stars. But I think outside of this, if there is anything else, maybe pick up one more wideout, maybe another defensive back, but nothing.
I think they're actively seeking. I don't think they're going to stop until there's literally nobody left. You have to fill a lot of scholarship spots. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up 1, 2, maybe even 3 more, and a couple of those be receiver. Because as we mentioned, guys, like, you don't have anybody that's contributed in the receiving game last year aside from Andre Johnson.
Let's go get Bro from Pitt. What's his name? The Blitnikoff winner that's in the transfer market.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he definitely wants to play with Emory Jones.
Yeah, for sure.
After winning the Blitnikoff. And the ACC.
Great pronunciation, by the way.
Blitnikoff?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shawn's first team all pronunciation.
It's what I do, I guess. Pitt won the ACC last year, right?
You know, you're throwing things at me that I just
Yeah,
don't have
I
an
believe
answer
they
to.
did.
Right?
I believe
I
they
guess
did.
that's more of a Totri question. He has a little more
Yeah, I
ACC
believe
experience.
they did win the ACC.
So,
But the ACC was wide
hey,
open
why
this
not
year.
us? And why not us? The answer, because we're not Pitt. I don't know.
True. There are, unless I'm mistaken, one of Notre Dame's running backs also entered the transfer portal as of a couple days ago. Sibo Flemister. Big
Sibo Flemister?
Sibo Flemister.
What a name.
Dude, that sounds like
my
something I
God.
created on Madden.
No, that's too out there to be created on Madden.
Look at my save files, buddy.
I mean, that would be.
Where?
And save
I'll
files?
show you my save files.
Okay. No, never mind. I'm not.
But would you be opposed to? I know we've talked about Daniel and Godin and Xavier Valade as the 1-2. Like, if you're ASU, do you look at potentially another running back just because you need more skill guys?
I don't think you really need a running back. I don't think you.
But does it ever hurt to have another skill guy? Is what I'm saying. Like you've got like Shane said, you've got these roster spots. Like if you've got a guy coming from Notre Dame or any other talented school, are you really going to turn him away depending on position?
No, but I don't think it's going to be like unless they approach you and are like, I want to come to your school.
Which again, Notre Dame played in the Fiesta Bowl last year. He got to come to Tempe. He got to
Yeah,
see that
I guess
stuff.
if that happens and you're not being like no thank you, but I don't think it's something you're actively seeking. Like you have a pretty full running back room at this
Oh
point.
yeah, wasn't the ACC championship the fake slide game?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
yeah, they did win that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that just.
But yeah, no, I don't think you need another running back. You have two guys that you have an experienced guy in Xavier Valade. You haven't got it who's supposed to be next. You have Tevin White, who's a young guy that's supposed to potentially the future. I don't think you're going out of your way to find another running back.
No, I think you fill the need of receiver and
Yeah.
maybe try to patch up that secondary a little bit. But no, I'm not gonna say. I was gonna say, but well, from all we've heard, the secondary is great, but I don't believe anything anymore because the person that told us that also said he was staying.
He's like, yeah, it's good. I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he ever said he was staying.
That's fair. But
we never asked him explicitly.
But he said, yeah,
he was excited about.
He
the
never
future.
lied to us.
He never really lied
unless
to
the
us.
secondary is god.
Should we just ask from now on? Like first
Hey,
question.
yeah.
Are you planning on leaving?
Are you gonna leave? Please be honest.
Heart been broke too many times. I don't know what to believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Heart been broke so many times.
singing.
Don't know what to believe.
Wow, that was actually. You guys have gotten so much better at harmonizing.
Eric Judge said it's my fault. It's my fault. I wear my heart on my
No, you
sleeve.
missed it. Eric Gentry said it's my fault. It's my fault. He's going to USC.
Oh.
Well, no, he didn't blame me. It's not my fault. He's going to USC.
Well-
he just said it's my fault for believing.
Well, look,
Mm,
we've talked about Cam Johnson, and
believing in staying in Tempe.
we're gonna get the chance to talk to Cam Johnson, and see why he decided to come to Arizona State. He will be on the show at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
1 p.m. Central Time.
Yes. So we'll get the chance to ask him why he decided to come to Tempe. You guys can ask him if after just a couple days of being here, if he's going to leave.
Good.
And what he thinks about Emory Jones, because obviously that had to have played a role.
Yeah, I mean,
And him
that's
deciding
another
to
thing I
come.
didn't even think about. They were in the same conference. This
They
is a guy-
probably
They played last year.
Yeah.
They were probably in contact.
yeah,
When-
that's not something
when
I thought about.
Florida kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear kind of in his discussions with coaches what they've told him his role is going to be. If he is going to get a like a chance to be the returner, if he's going to be the number one guy. Like
I think he's got to be either the one or the two.
Yeah, I mean, so do I. But I'm curious to see what those conversations were like. And yeah, if he's had conversations with Emory Jones, because that's something I honestly hadn't really thought
Speaking of
about.
Emory Jones, Totri wrote a great article on GoPHNX.com that you can read if you remember.
Yeah.
Outlining like all of his interceptions that he threw.
Yeah, I went back and watched. So we know he threw 13 last year and 1 the year before. Literally sat down, watched every single one of his interceptions, and just kind of dissected what caused it, if he really is as turnover prone as people seem to think he is. The biggest takeaway from that was a lot of them weren't necessarily things that aren't uncorrectable. Like a lot of things where he just didn't step into his throws and he'd lose power on it, or there were a couple times where he just didn't see the underneath defender.
You know what really stuck out to me in that article? The score of the Florida and Alabama game. I didn't even realize that. 31-29, they lost.
It was close.
Yeah.
Emory Jones ran for 76 yards on 19 carries.
No, Emory Jones is a guy that's shown against the best defenses in college football that he can have really big games.
Yeah, 100%.
Did it against Tennessee. Did it against Alabama. He's a legit.
Low Tone Capone brings up a good point. Last 3 quarterbacks have now worn number 5. It's still J5 season.
EJ5?
EJ5?
That sounds like a robot.
Yeah.
EJ5?
What does EJ5 do?
Throw bombs.
Oh, it's a militarized weapon?
Yeah.
J-bomb.
Like Sid Sanders.
Throwing
Made by the same
missiles.
company.
EJ5 now. I don't know about that. Is he going to get his own vanilla?
E5 sounds like a jet.
Yeah.
I'm here for E5. I don't know about EJ5.
Yeah, I like E5 better.
Hopefully we can get him on the show and we can ask him.
Also,
or we can just ask what Cam Johnson likes more.
Hearing the letters EJ next to each other give me trauma.
EJ Manuel?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, we've talked a little bit about ASU's chances to win the Pac-12. You can't bet on that quite yet on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, but what you can bet on is the NBA playoffs. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets if they do. And right now, all customers can place a same-game parlay with 3 or more legs and get a free bet back up to $25 if one leg doesn't hit. I know the Bucks and Celtics are back in action tonight. The Grizzlies and Warriors are as well. I'm not sure. Any news on Ja? Is Ja playing tonight?
No, he's not playing. From what I've seen, the line is 10 points for the Warriors. I'm eating those 10 points if I'm a Grizzlies fan. I'm loving that line. I'm all over it. The Grizzlies played fantastic without Ja Morant in the regular season. I know the Warriors are a different beast, but come on, 10 points in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's a lot. That's what I thought. Well, that's what I thought about the 7 points the other night and lost by 30.
Oh, yeah. But that was also, again, it's the thing where you lose your superstar mid-game. You kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, they lost Ja in like the fourth quarter.
yeah.
So
I think it's still going to be.
The game was out of hand. at that
It'll be
point.
tight in the first half. I don't know how
Well,
long.
now the biggest thing is the Grizzlies are desperate. I was talking about this on bets. The more desperate team is the one that plays better.
And Dylan Brooks is back as well. They were without.
That's huge.
They were without Dylan
Time
Brooks.
to body check someone.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Dylan Brooks will grab somebody's knee.
Dylan Brooks will dive into Jordan Poole.
There's a
Is
lot
that
to bet
available
on.
on DraftKings?
There might be
Tackles,
They've got all sorts.
Jordan Poole
tackles.
TFLs.
That'd be awesome. Go check it out. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code PHNX and bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's promo code PHNX. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 plus. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. A minimum of a $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. Shawn?
We just sweeped UCLA.
They didn't sweep UCLA.
Yeah.
We just beat UCLA.
There you go. 2-1.
Why'd you look at me and say Shawn?
Well, he spoke after I was looking at you.
He wanted you to start.
I was-
the
yeah, I
segment,
wanted
and
you
I
to-
rudely interrupted. Yeah,
It's okay though. Everyone's good.
we're all good.
We
Okay.
just beat
Okay.
UCLA. Oh, goddamn, that's gonna be
It's-
stuck in my
it's
head.
good.
Not even an actual song. We made up lyrics that Shane created.
Just
Yes.
swept.
So if you missed it, ASU
Just swept
softball
Utah.
had a phenomenal weekend.
We just
Beat the number 4 team in the country in UCLA. 2-1. Most notably, that game on Sunday, and there wasn't I couldn't think of a better way to cap off a series than with what happened on Sunday. If you missed it, got a phenomenal replay.
That ball is gone! Emily Cazares, the 3-run home run, and Arizona State beats UCLA in Game 3, 6-3.
Douche. An unidentified aircraft has entered the airspace.
Dude,
It's an Emily Cazares beyond. What was hit harder, Tony Ferguson's face or that softball?
Tony didn't deserve that.
Oh, did he? Did he not?
Did he not?
UCLA deserved that though.
Yeah, they did deserve that.
Also, great call by the way.
Yeah.
I fucking love a great call and a walk off. But Lockheed has got to be nervous. If you don't know Lockheed, they're a military contractor. They make missiles.
They're worried about that or your noises?
They're worried about maybe both.
Yeah, if you're Raycon as well,
Yeah.
I would watch out.
ASU is creating missiles at a more effective and higher rate than military contractors right now. That was fucking electric.
Over under on missile noises now on the show. I feel
Set
like
the over, and I will go out of my way to hit it.
That's what they sound like now.
Anti-aircraft missiles.
but yeah, they got it done.
Yeah,
I like we talked a little bit about ASU's struggles over the course of the last few years, really, against UCLA. I think they were 1-15.
yeah. But what
Dating
did I
back to
say?
2016, and they just doubled it.
That shit don't mean nothing. This is a different team. Both sides are different. They're different teams than they've been historically. Really sad that they lost on bingo night. But maybe they got all their winning out beforehand on the bingo.
You
and
looked
they didn't have any.
genuinely disappointed there.
Yeah, well, I'm really just sad that they lost the game because it's something that like
Could have
a
wrapped with the
sweep would
Pac-12.
have been. But like, I don't know. This just shows they're the best team. Like prior to this, like I had been hesitant to say that they were the best team in the ACC in the Pac-12 because they hadn't played UCLA yet. They show that they're the best team in the Pac-12. I am excited to see what the rankings are because
They gotta be a top-
UCLA was 4.
They got to be a top.
They moved
17.
up. They moved up. UCLA, I think, dropped to 8. I want to say, and they're up to 5 or 4.
ASU.
Top 5 is what I was gonna say.
You know who else is the best? Lindsay Lopez is the best pitcher in the Pac-12. 7 innings pitched, no walks, 3 runs, all of them earned. Only 1 strikeout, but this is the number that stands out to me. 11 ground outs. She was pitching to get you out. She wasn't pitching to strike you out. She was pitching so you couldn't hit anything on her. Only didn't walk a single person, hit 1 person. But as compare those numbers to both UCLA pitchers, they only forced 4 ground outs. She forced 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's ridiculous.
Interesting when you look at the 1 loss, like it was an uncharacteristically bad performance from Trisha Ford. Like, and there's no reason to expect that like if they played that game 10 times that would happen.
Yeah.
One other time. So
They'll see this team again.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So
This has to remove basically any doubt that you have in this team as far as at least the conference is concerned. And makes me feel way better about the bet that I placed a few weeks ago about them winning the College World Series. That's going to be a nice little payday.
yeah, those when ASU wins the Pac-12, those odds are going to be nowhere near what you got them at, and you're going to look like a genius.
Yeah. Shout out Bella Loomis, senior night, 3 RBI right after they hadn't scored in the whole game in the 6th inning. Nice double. As I said on senior night, been a big part of this team for a while. A silent assassin, they call her. And then in the next inning, obviously, saw a home run. But just that must have felt so good after not scoring for 5 innings. If you're Lindsay Lopez, like, please, for the love of God, give me this win.
It would have been really easy for them, I feel like, to just kind of like feel like they were out of it going into the 6th, down 3-0
For sure.
against a top 5 team in the country. Not only did they keep their head up, they turned around and won the game.
Mm-hmm.
And going into, just splitting or not splitting, but losing that series versus winning that series, like if they would have lost, you'd been like, okay, UCLA is a top team. We knew it was going to be tough. But like winning that first game on Friday, they obviously had that uncharacteristic game that you mentioned on Saturday, and then to come back from behind against a top 4 team in UCLA and win, that is the momentum they need to finish out the season. Really, they got this last series against Washington, which, they shouldn't look past Washington. Washington, in terms of conference record, is the 3rd best team behind UCLA. So it's no team to sleep on. But if they are able to do what they need to do and win that series, they've wrapped up the Pac-12. Like, again, I still feel like this team is just as good as the Giants.
Yeah, and Jacob makes a great point. Trisha Ford is definitely Pac-12 Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's not
ASU is
close.
projected to finish 5th behind UCLA, Oregon, Washington, and ... Arizona. Go fuck yourself, Arizona. But
Hold on now.
What's the stupid Wildcat's name? Not Wilbur, but the girl.
Wilma.
Yeah, fuck Wilma and Wilbur's relationship. It's fraudulent. They don't actually like each other. It's all for show.
It was staged. It was a forced marriage.
Shotgun wedding.
Fuck the Wildcats.
Watch yourself.
Nah, I'm not.
I can mute your mic at any time.
Okay. No, but shout out Coach Ford. Like, this is like we have said over and over again. Like we've if the Pac-12 isn't going to give her flowers, we damn sure will. Like this starts because of her. Like,
She's the best coach
where this starts
in the Pac-12. Easy.
Yeah, I mean because not only is she the coach of the best team in the Pac-12, she's the coach of the. I don't want to say overachieving, but like compared to the expectations,
it is overachieving.
The most overachieving team in the Pac-12.
For sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. Also, I want to say fuck UCLA for being cowards and walking Sid Sanders.
I think they hit her.
No, they intentionally walked her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they intentionally walked Sid Sanders.
They hit her early in the game.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, they.
Yeah, you're talking about before. Weird call to do that. Very strange.
Well, I mean, I
understand, but like,
because like they can only the game was tied, so if they give up one run, then they lose. So like I said, the way that
I was thinking they were down 3, but that's what Loomis hit that. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, the way that Sid has been hitting recently. I don't blame them for walking her, but also coward. Jacob says I found a video where you guys made in Vegas where you talked to U of A fans behind enemy lines. I'm assuming. One fan said they were better at softball. U of A is currently tied for last. So that's another crazy thing. Want to talk about the most overachieving, the most underachieving team in the Pac-12 is U of A.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I'm pretty sure you got when you made the ASU bet.
Yeah, Arizona had higher odds. They had
higher
odds to win the College World Series than ASU.
That's absolutely wild. But softball wasn't the only ball and bat team to win a series this weekend.
Go back to Salt Lake, you losers. Fuck the state of Utah.
Hate you
once
all.
a week.
This is an I was gonna say this is an anti-Utah podcast. This is an anti-Utah network.
No, this is an anti-Utah person.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're not anti-Utah, you should be.
What is up with this?
Dominant.
Do you have a hatred?
Vendetta,
Why?
yes.
Why?
Because they're lame.
That's it?
Yeah, have something open past 8 p.m. This was like a dominant performance from ASU baseball.
Yeah.
Dominant. Jacob Tobias went crazy, had 2 5 RBI games in the series. Nate Baez had 8 RBIs. Like, they went crazy.
Yeah, that Friday game was just embarrassing.
Yeah.
19-7. ASU scored in every run every inning.
38-16
except the first.
series. Like, come on now.
It's just no. But does this? I don't know, man.
The team is weird. Okay, that's all.
I know. That's what I'm like. I want to have, but like we want to have faith in this team because look what they can do when they're on.
Yeah, I mean Utah
Did you say, and I quote before the show, Utah is ass.
Yeah, but
so does it really matter?
Utah is above 500.
Yeah.
These wins always
10 and 14 in the Pac-12.
These series wins are always so big.
Tomorrow's game is huge. You get GCU again.
They gotta win.
Yeah,
man.
they have to win.
They gotta win.
I feel pretty confident in saying that as there's still questions around this team. They're inconsistent. They're a significantly better team than they were the first time they played GCU.
Yeah.
So I feel better about their chances. But it was nice to see that ASU didn't have any of like those big innings that they tend, or like Utah didn't have any of the big innings that ASU has a propensity to give up.
Yeah.
Like they didn't score more than 3 runs in a single inning at any point. And I think it was, if I remember correctly, each game they had 1 inning where they gave up 3 runs. Or no, sorry, the first game they gave up 4 runs in the 5th. But still, they didn't, like, the wheels never came off. They never like took their foot off the gas. They went crazy. Like that was just a really reassuring win. They were against a team that they were supposed to beat, and they dominated them.
What's the equivalent of this team? Like, give me an analogy so people that haven't watched ASU baseball, but they've only heard us talk about them, can get an understanding of what this team is.
It's like, you know those pictures you see on Twitter where it's like, bro, look at what my bro did to my room, and then you look at the picture and it's just like all distorted. You can't tell what's going on in the picture. You seen those? Oh, they're great. I'll pull one up.
Shane is on a very different side of social media than I think.
I'm sure. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
a lot of people know what I'm talking about. These things go like crazy viral. Anyway, they're like a picture that you look at. You're like, what?
No, I don't.
You're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
But you enjoy it.
I thought you were looking for more like an analogy to like another team or something like that. I was gonna say it's kind of like the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're like they're just, you don't really know what they are. There's a chance that any given day their pitching is just going to disappear, or at least their bullpen is going to disappear.
Yes.
Oh yes, those pictures drive me crazy.
Yeah. What is that?
Exactly. That's but
Like nothing in the picture is recognizable at all.
okay, so a little insight from Mac. Talk to the Utah parent on Sunday's game. They are dealing with a ton of injuries, and their coach keeps rolling out the hurt players. ASU played very well, but be cautious. Yeah, I mean, I'm not by any means like being like this is a Pac-12 championship.
No,
Here they come. But this like for partially that reason, they're playing a team that's not full strength. And it's a team that they're supposed to be, and they did so handedly.
Yeah.
Like, that is what they need to do in these situations, and that is comforting.
Personally, I don't care if like a team's got hurt players dealing with whatever. Like, a win's a win.
Yeah.
This is Division I baseball. You should have enough guys on the roster to get the job done. ASU clearly got the win. In my book, a win is a win. There's no asterisk next to it. Oh, Utah had, X amount of players hurt or whatever.
Yeah, a win's a win. I think it's important to maintain the context. Like
this would be different. Like if this was, see, I don't think it is, because if this was like ASU softball winning against UCLA the way they did, and then UCLA had a bunch of people hurt, like that's a series that has got so much meaning in terms of like postseason stuff versus ASU baseball, where we could be like, they just really needed a series win and they got it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree that a win's a win. It's important for the team regardless, but I mean, I think it's still important to maintain the context of.
I think this is the biggest thing you can take out of the season is it's not completely discouraging for Mr. Willie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I think it shows that this team has potential once they get deeper, as Max said.
Yeah, I think you got to keep reminding yourself that this is his first season. Give him more time to recruit, because that's one thing. Like, you think about, this is a guy is a legend in his own right. Like, his ability to recruit once he keeps doing it for a few years is probably gonna be pretty impactful.
Yeah,
is it though? Because we've seen the whole ASU experiment with let's hire legends.
Yeah, but Herm is not an ASU legend. Like, Willie can live and breathe Arizona baseball.
I don't think it matters.
I think it can.
I think to some extent 100% does.
Yeah, this is because like Herm is just a guy that's like, oh,
but he's not. He's an NFL legend.
Yeah, he is, but he's not an ASU legend. He didn't play for Arizona State and then play for the Cardinals. Like Willie is Arizona baseball through and through.
Herm's got a weird stigma. He's a failed NFL coach.
Yeah,
Willie isn't a failed anything. He was a solid ball player that played ball at ASU.
I mean, Herm played in the NFL.
Yeah, but he was a failed coach.
Yeah,
he's coming here to coach. He's not coming here to fucking play football.
This is
Willie's first
foray.
Yeah,
and also,
so he doesn't have that bad stigma.
It's different when you're coaching and recruiting for a school that is historically one of the greatest baseball programs in the country, as opposed to trying to out-recruit some of the most historic football programs in the country when you are not that.
Yeah, and like, as Chris says, Willie has wanted this job since he left ASU for pro. Like, this is a guy that isn't going to let the opportunity slip through his fingers.
Yeah, like, he wants this more than anybody. Like, Herm obviously cares about ASU, but before he got to ASU, he didn't give a shit about ASU. Willie has lived and breathed ASU baseball for the majority of his life. Yep. So, like, I think that, and to a certain extent, parents and kids that are getting recruited are going to be able to notice that sincerity and what that means to him, and that will translate, hopefully, in the recruiting path. So I definitely think it matters. It's not going to be the end-all, be-all. Like, just because he is an ASU legend doesn't mean all of a sudden the greatest players in the country are going to just start coming here. But I think it definitely can translate to at least giving ASU a shot at some of the biggest recruits in the country.
I think this helps in the fact of you bring up recruiting, and that's such a big part of all college sports nowadays, especially. It's one thing to be a legend. For ASU to finish the season, hopefully at 500 or close to it, I think is going to be massive. Because it's one thing for Willie to be a legend here and the team just perform horribly, go well below 500, getting swept by GCU, getting blown out here, there. Like, just being able to maintain their record at this point when you go and make those pitches in terms of recruiting, I think that is going to be huge going forward. And you've brought it up multiple times that these aren't Willie's guys. So it will be interesting to see where this program is in a few years down the line. Hopefully we can talk about them the way we talk about ASU softball in a couple of years.
Would be nice.
Do you think the baseball team finishes 500 or better? 7 games left, 2 games below 500.
Gonna be close.
Who do they have left?
They have GCU. What is it?
UCLA, right?
I thought it was Oregon and Washington State. They have GCU game and then 3 games against Oregon in Phoenix and Tempe, and then 3 games at Washington State.
I think if I had to make a prediction, I think they probably fall like 1 or 2 games below 500.
Washington State is the second to last team in the Pac-12 right now. Oregon is just above. They're a game above ASU in the Pac-12. So the Oregon one is going to be pretty telling. That's like a team that's supposed to be on equal playing field.
Yeah.
Washington State is a team I think that they can do exactly what they just did against Utah. It's a team they could sweep. GCU game is going to be interesting. I think they finish above 500. I see them. I could see them sweeping Washington State, taking 2 on Oregon, and then hopefully beating GCU.
Still a lot of baseball to be played.
Yeah, for sure.
So it should be interesting. But as you can see, we talk ASU baseball, ASU softball. We've talked lacrosse in the past, football, basketball. Literally, I feel like we're the only ASU podcast that really talks about all of these various sports.
And if there's another one, they don't do it as well as us.
Exactly, or not at least with as much fun as we do it. They definitely don't talk about baby goats and farm animals. So if you enjoy,
probably true.
If you enjoy the content that we provide here at Go PHNX,
to.
head to our website,
If
gophnx.com.
you want me to.
Become
do
a member of the family, because when you do, you're going to get either a free t-shirt from the locker or your first month for 50 cents just for signing up. Shane brought up the piece that I wrote about Emory Jones that was published on the website today. Definitely encourage you guys to go read that if you want to get a better look into what makes Emory Jones.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, we're Spider-Man memeing.
No, I was just
Nice. Okay.
The comment.
The Coyotes have a big week ahead of them. Leah, what's going on with PHNX Coyotes this week?
Well, the draft lottery is tomorrow, which is literally the moment we've been waiting for since before the season began.
Since before PHNX.
Yeah, literally. So PHNX Coyotes will be live alongside the draft lottery. So tune in on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel at 3:30 Arizona time. We'll be live alongside the draft lottery, preparing everyone and then reacting to whatever pick. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna choke at the Coyotes again. So
hopefully that ping pong ball doesn't choke.
It will. Just historically, it will.
Yeah.
We
draft in Montreal with Montreal having the best odds.
Yeah, not saying there's a conspiracy, but whenever a Canadian team needs the first overall pick, they get it. So we talked about that. Yeah, they had to change the rules because of Edmonton. So we talked about all of this on our podcast this morning. So if you need a primer for the draft lottery tomorrow, go follow PHNX Coyotes wherever you get your podcast and listen to that one.
Yes, and the Suns. They also got a bounce back game on Tuesday. So obviously PHNX Suns will have a lot going on tomorrow. The Cardinals always got some good stuff. And then we will be live, like we said, on Wednesday with Cam Johnson. Doug Haller going to be joining us on Friday. So, again, head to gophnx.com, become a member of the family, because when you do, either a free t-shirt from that locker or your first month for 50 cents just for signing up. And, Chris, go judge my writing. I double dog dare you. Boys, before we get out of here, XFL holding tryouts at ASU.
First off, in general, juiced for the XFL. It is the most fun form of football. Like
the most
whoa. The football, with the exception of the football, I should say. Like the football,
not great.
But the fact that they'll have a quarterback throw an interception and then immediately have a sideline interview with him, that is electric. Plus, The Rock is involved.
Yeah.
How can you not enjoy The Rock? But anything that is having open tryouts, like Arizona football last year, for example, is not going to be good football.
No, not at all.
I'm excited though.
Are we going to try out?
I think we have to.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like.
I'm gonna make the team.
Great slot receiver. I could see you being a little
either
Wes
a slot
Welker-esque.
receiver or a slot corner. That's about all I could size wise do. I could be a kicker.
You could be I feel like kickers are kind of big sometimes. You could be a kick returner.
I'd get fucking slaughtered.
He would die.
I could see you being shifty.
I can be shifty, but
Darren Sproles-esque running
yeah,
back.
but I'm fine at wideout. But like when I've got to spend a couple seconds waiting for the ball
just
to come,
fair catch every time.
Yeah, but then what the fuck's the point of me being there?
Got reliable hands.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my best, guys.
All-State.
I'll do my best. All-State.
You're in good hands.
I'm done.
Shane, what position are you trying out for?
God, how does he do this with this fucking awful mic? Tochi, you want to change the camera shot? Perfect. Yeah. And punch in a little bit. Yeah. A little bit that way. A little bit towards Shawn.
For the audio listeners, Totri has up and left.
Yep.
Is now
Perfect.
He's now
working the camera, and then the logos. Okay, that's fine. We'll just work with this for now. I think I want to do something where I'm like completely like, I want to be mischievous and misdirectional. Like I want to be like borderline. Like, is this good for the game? Like I want to be able to, you know those plays like that Kansas guy that lays in the end zone.
Yes.
And you can't see him. I want to do a lot of stuff like that. So whatever that entails.
So kick returner.
No, like I want to do that on offense though. Like a tight end that just like falls over and then someone jumps over me and then I'm wide open.
I want to be like, I would love to be a defensive end. Someone that doesn't have to get hit.
Yeah.
Just like
if I was fast
move.
enough to play safety, that's like my dream position. But I'm just not, and I can't hit hard. I can't really do much. I'm not good at much.
I played safety when I played football in middle school, but that's because no one throws the football in middle school. So like that was the one place you can get me out of the way. I was supposed to start at receiver. Final game of 8th grade. Game got rained out.
Well, it's been a pleasure as always. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane Deep. You can follow Totri on Twitter at Anthony_Totri. Shawn, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at Shawn_DePause. Sacking the quarterback as always. I don't know.
And you can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_Sun Devils. As we said, back with an audio tomorrow. And then we got Mr. Cameron Johnson on Wednesday at 11 a.m., 1 p.m. Central Time.
Yes.
It's going to be a good time, so don't miss out. Follow the YouTube channel, subscribe so you don't miss out on anything, and watch the Coyote Show tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. I don't have a sign-off in the show usually, so go check out Bets, where you can see Peace, Love, and PRA.